Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
I bit my tongue about an hour ago.
Earlier
an hour ago. It's nothing. I bit it so hard that I was spitting out blood, and there's a visible scar. And now I have to do a podcast.
I was going to say, I can tell it's like serious because it happened an hour ago and you're still talking about it.
Oh, yeah. It's just like, why? Why? Like, why do we do that?
I'm sorry it's the physical injury. I thought at first I thought you were just saying, I had a real pithy comment I was going to make in polite society, but I held it back. I literally
bit my tongue.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm still thinking about it.
Is this how we start the show?
This is the opening. This is what I threw out for everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We're on the episode of Hypecast.
Hypecast.
It's the show where we get hyped about stuff and things. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I'm your other co-host, David Bell.
And I am guest Jason Pargin. How many of the listeners out there realize there's an Avatar movie coming this year? Do you guys realize that
there's...
I barely did.
No, I didn't. That's a lie.
I've double-checked like 3 times this year. It's like, Avatar is this year?
Avatar, whatever, Fire and Ash, is that what it's called?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Coming in December, they've still not pushed it back or canceled it or anything. It's still on the way. I would have thought there would be a teaser trailer by now. And if you go to YouTube and search Avatar 3 or Avatar Fire and Ash trailer, you get page after page after page of trailer and trailer and trailer that all say official trailer, James Cameron, first trailer Avatar. AI.
Yeah.
And YouTube does not care. These have millions of views, and it goes on for page after page because anybody can just generate it in 5 seconds and upload it, and they will give it the title, official trailer, real official trailer. They will put the little 20th Century Fox slate at the front of it, breaking all sorts of laws. Nobody cares because YouTube
and
got
you can
rid
do
of
this
their
at home.
Got rid of their downvote button because once upon a time you could spot a fake. People forget the olden days when you could see if a video had 3% upvote and 97% downvote. Like, okay, they've got a still photo or something. They're just collecting clicks, and they got rid of that because it's like, no, we want you to be fooled by the trash. We make more money when you look at the trash. And the one thing that I feel like is probably holding back AI as an industry is the people in charge of it don't seem to understand why things need to be true ever. But like they don't like the AI summaries at the top of Google. It's like, well, those are often grossly inaccurate. It's like, but okay. But what are you complaining about? You asked for some words. We put some words up there.
Here they are. Yeah.
Here they are. Like what you asked what a baby peacock looks like. So here's this little cartoon. Do we have AI draw for you? It's like, no, I want to know what it actually, I need an actual photo of one. It's like, yeah, here's one. No. A real photo of the real thing. It's like, this is even better. We made you a custom image of a fake one of like a cartoon.
And we did it really fast. Too. It reminds me of like when a child asks a parent a question and the parent doesn't know the answer, but you got to give an answer.
Yeah.
So you just say something.
Makes it the
like
Calvin's dad of future technology.
And here's the thing. People say that there's like no use for AI. There are tons of uses for AI.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not because people complain about how, they're wanting to make commercials using AI and how it's going to put all these people out of work. I agree. It sucks. I have so many friends working in the industry that will, cut off a revenue stream for them. Also, it's unstoppable. It's just so much easier if you just need generic commercial. I'm doing a commercial about a drug that cures bladder problems, and I need video of people playing in the park to symbolize their freedom from bladder problems. AI can generate that in 5 minutes. Yes, in the past, they would have had to have hired actors, go out to the park. They would have had to, had shot a whole thing, edited it. Now they just have the computer spit it out. And I will tell you right now, as me, the guy who is watching a football game on my sofa, looking at my phone, I will not notice the difference. I will just think, oh yeah, my grandma's got bladder problems. I wonder if this would help her. The fact that they use AI to generate like a fake people playing in the park video, that's not going to bother me. It's going to take over for that reason because some stuff can just be crap. It's like the art on the wall at a hotel. Like you're not sitting there analyzing. It's just, okay, there's a thing on the wall that adds some color.
What's that guy's name who does like 98% of that art? Gosh. Crap, they sell it in kiosks in the mall too.
But it is...
Anyway, that's like a cracked article. Most of that artwork is done by one guy.
Yeah, and he's gonna lose millions with AI because like, well, why should we pay this guy when we can just have a machine?
Right? Why would we have an advertising budget?
Yeah,
there is a very funny. Like I was just thinking about this today because the boss of Epic Games came out and said, in the future, anybody can make a video game. AI will write the dialogue for you. And I'm like, I don't think that's the tedious part of making a video game.
No.
Like, I think people who make video games, if you said to them, AI will like, design like the physics of something that takes hours and tedious time, or like the animation cycles, the stuff that's like probably seen as tedious, I could see people going like, oh, that's great.
They currently do that. Like they have tools that automate processes like that.
But they're trying to sell it of like, don't worry, that tedious process of thinking up a rich and like
of
rewarding
injecting
unique
it with
world,
actual soul.
Yeah, it'll do it for you. And it's like, that's not what people want.
That's not the part we wanted to replace.
Yeah. But what AI will do is make you a very passable porno that will be fine. It doesn't have to be perfect.
We'll all be fine.
You'll have some scenario. It's
fine.
like, no, I want like, it's like she's a woman who's like a maid and she's got her head stuck in the washer and dryer, and then her son-in-law comes home and they have sex. Like, boom, it will be able to crank that out. And
you realize it's going to be like a washing machine transformer having sex with Pauly Shore with the prompt you just gave.
And you'll be like, good enough.
Good enough.
That's
it's not going to matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. So there is, it's hard to overstate the impact it's going to have because I can think of a million uses sitting here. I can think of a million jobs going to get lost because I don't think people realize how many of the actors in that, I don't want to say lower tier of actors. I don't mean an ability. I mean the people who get like one feature role every 3 years.
Working actors.
They're doing commercials the rest of the time. That's how they pay the bills. Like they're showing up in that drug ad. They're showing up in that ad for whatever. I mean, I have friends I can watch. It's like, oh, that's whoever. And those are the jobs that are going to go away because why pay a union actor? Why hire this person? Why have to schedule a shoot, schedule location, editors, makeup? Why do all of that when you can just have generic woman, driving in a car talking about how her headaches have gone away?
And like, why mess with like $1 million contracts with advertising agencies if you can just like press a button?
Yeah.
So I will say though, it's funny that you brought up like a drug about like bladder control problems, because if AI makes all of those commercials, we would have got Gorilla Flow, Jason.
That's right. There's all sorts of magic that can only come from the madness of a human being. The AI cannot replicate all of the weird insecurities and fetishes that it causes people to create the things they create. But I don't think you'll ever have, the idea that, well, we won't need, because there was a dumb article that went around. Somebody's like, James Cameron's original Avatar, AI could have recreated that for $10,000. And it's like, no, it couldn't have. You're totally misunderstanding every single thing about that. But there's all of this mid-tier stuff. There's the ads and the porn. Because I'm not joking about the porn. This is what it's perfect for. If you want a hyper-specific, some sort of furry porn scenario, it can get you an animation in minutes. That's going to be the thing that it does. But there's a whole lot of people that secretly depend on that for their income that I don't think necessarily people realize how much of the, not just the acting work, but all of it, the editing, everything that is how these people pay the bills, how most people in entertainment pay the bills.
Yeah. Commission your furry porn locally, folks. Like, there are people who will do that.
Mm-hmm. Even like you might not even think, even like the music.
Oh yeah.
But this is not the things I'm talking about, like the music. That's not a hypothetical right now. If there's some high school kid wants a lo-fi chill beat in the background while they do homework, they will tell AI to generate that, and it will generate it right now. That's not something that's coming in the sci-fi future. That is happening as we sit here.
We're AI.
Jason, what have you been up to? Do you have anything to plug?
Yeah.
Thank you for being on.
The book is $3 this month. I'm starting to worry about this Black Box of Doom, the book that I've been promoting on this podcast since January of last year. It's $3. I finally got them to do a sale. That's like 80% off the ebook. The hardcover is the normal outrageous, I don't know, $47, whatever they cost now. That's the normal obscene price. The ebook, if you got an e-reader, any ebook format, Kindle, any of them, $2.99 for the month of June. After June, the price shoots back up to its normal outrageous level. Why? Because authors are greedy.
It's true.
Daddy likes cheese. I'll give you a month where you can get it cheaper, but I'm like a dealer. I'm giving you a taste because I know once you're addicted, you're going to have to buy all the other books, even though this is a standalone. But you're going to be like, I've got to see what else this guy's got going on. This is not charity. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this because this is how I rope you in.
So yeah, it's $3, but you don't get the last 3 chapters.
That's right. That's the ending is DLC. Guess what? It's $100. Children, especially if you're underage out there listening to this, go steal your credit card from your mother's purse and buy the book with it.
Buy several copies.
Buy a copy for every kid in your class.
If Mr. Beast can become a billionaire by getting children to steal their mother's credit cards and buy his merch, there's no reason we can't get in on this.
Any one of us could do this.
There's no reason not to. Literally not a single reason.
No one is stopping us.
It's a storied tradition. I'm sure everyone remembers those commercials where it's like, get your parents' permission.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We all knew what
credit card.
We all knew what that meant.
Yep.
Well, we got some trailers to talk about, but first we got some patrons to thank. So I will begin thanking those patrons, our wonderful producers, starting with @NerdNumbers was glad to talk wrestling with Dave and Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Ravages of the Scourge. There's deathcore and death metal there. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you to Achoo.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to Zero Charisma.
Thank you.
Thank you to 2001, A Space McNulty Odyssey.
Thanks.
Thank you to A Thumb in the Honeydew.
You're right in there.
Thank you to Aaron Burser.
Thank you.
Thank you to AJ.
Thank you so much. All right, let me take over. Thank you to Andrew Howe demands a single act of kindness.
Thank you.
Thank you to Asking Seven.
Thanks.
Thank you to Ballet Karate Hulk.
Thank you.
Thank you to BLT22EWHVIS-B exclamation point.
Thank you.
Thank you to Bootler Bootlesson.
Thanks.
Thank you to Brian, who Tom knows.
Thank you.
Thank you to Brockway loves the meat millie.
Thank you.
And thank you to Burrito, the skankiest slut in town.
Thank you. All right. So as of recording this, the Wicked trailer isn't out yet. But I don't know what we would really be saying about it anyway. I didn't see part 1.
No, I hear the musical is good. I struggled to try to get through the book that it's based on, and it's very bad. The musical looks way different, though, so I do want to see it at some point.
Does the book have musical moments in it?
It does.
It say,
it stops and says, like, imagine this.
Yeah.
Like a fucking Tolkien book.
Yeah.
They sing this old song of your, you know. I got like
Tolkien did
a page and a half of a song. I'm like, I don't know how this goes, man.
Oh, well, that's the beauty. You can do it. You can get AI to do it.
And you fill it in. Right.
Yeah.
Get AI to do it.
But let's talk about this first trailer. A big, bold, beautiful journey. This is Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell. It's like a thing. It's like they're doing
an Eternal
like a
Sunshine,
fantasy. Yeah,
kinda.
It's like a romantic fantasy. It's two people on a date, and then they go through a door and they start going through old memories.
Yeah.
And it's like magical and romantic, and it's a big, bold, beautiful journey. It's like what's that one that Ben Stiller won? Secret Life.
Oh, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
I never saw that either, but it's give me that vibe.
Yeah, that's more
It's
about like a dude who just like daydreams all the time. This strikes me as just like kind of like an abstract a version of like a first date, because you're just like, they're basically just sharing memories. They're just telling each other stories about their lives.
Right.
Basically. So, I'm curious to hear what Jason's twist is.
Okay. Listeners, if you're afraid of having a big, bold, beautiful journey, this heartwarming film spoiled for you, I am telling you, looking at the trailer, what you see is a man and a woman riding in a car. And then you see the man and the woman, and you see the man and the woman walking through the forest, and they find a magical doorway. And when they walk through that magical doorway, it has all of the key moments of their lives, and they think about how they could have done things differently and where maybe they could have wound up. And then later you see glimpses of a car accident and a car on fire.
That's right. You do.
Does not say necessarily how that ties in, that maybe we're going to find out that this was their lives flashing before their eyes, that in reality they died, and that the ending of the film is them going to be coming to, it's Jacob's Ladder. You seen Jacob's Ladder?
Oh yeah.
Where it turns out the magical adventure they were on was him coming to terms with his life so that he could move on, and he was actually dying on a hospital table the whole time. So maybe again, the trailer does
That
not
is
say
definitely
that.
the vibe they're putting out.
It does.
That they want us to.
They do kind of walk away from the car like Beetlejuice, like the Maitlands of Beetlejuice. That's true.
Yeah, and make some comment about how they're totally unharmed, and then they come across a magical portal, and now their lives are flashing before their eyes, and they're coming to a greater understanding of who they were and why, and their regrets. Anyway, that doesn't change anything. I'm sure it's...
You might describe the entirety of a human life as a big, bold, beautiful journey.
But is the idea that they barely know each other?
Seems to be, yeah, like they're on a first date or something.
Does that mean if you like die on a bus accident next to somebody, you have to go on a big, bold, beautiful journey with that person?
Yes. Have you seen the Robert Downey Jr. film Heart and Souls?
Oh, you're right. That is
they are stuck
happens.
with each other for eternity.
And they have to like celebrate each other's life, and it's like, man, I don't know you.
All the Titanic ghosts have to wait for Kate Winslet to dream. Yeah.
At the end of Kate Winslet, she had a life, she had children, but it's like, no, I'm when in heaven, I'm going to go back to that guy I knew for 2 days.
I once took a bus from New York to Connecticut, and I sat down next to a kid, and he said, hey, and I said, hey, and he said, do you like football? And I said, no. And he said, oh, I like football. And then we never spoke for the rest of the journey.
That's
and I'm
good.
like, if I crashed with that kid, we'd have nothing to do in the afterlife together.
Could be like a Tom Stoppard play or something.
It's just, man, I think you nailed it, Jason, but I don't know, because it's so overt with it. My theory was that they got trapped in the fungus from the X-Files that eats you while you hallucinate. But like
that's what the car crashes into.
Yeah, it reeks of "We're Dead." The trailer does.
It does. Like the Last Christmas trailer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Fuck, man. I mean, maybe they got abducted by aliens. Maybe they're going to do something really unexpected with it, and I kind of hope they do. Like, I want the third act to be like, we got to get out of the ship. And they're like, it's like the ending of Independence Day where they like have to hijack one of the spaceships and get out of the mothership. Yeah. And they set off a nuke.
Shoot an alien directly in the face with a nuke.
Yeah. They really do that.
Just hiding all that from the...
Should we move on?
Yeah. I don't know. Speaking of a big, bold, beautiful journey here, this is Happy Gilmore 2, baby. Full trailer. We had a teaser earlier.
Yeah.
It's doing the thing where every joke is from the first movie.
There's a couple of new ones, but yeah, it's mostly callbacks. I do like the idea of Happy Gilmore being over the hill, crappy golfer. That's fun. John Daly's in there. There's just John Daly right there.
Oh yeah,
like we don't
Margaret
know.
Qualley's
we
there.
Can't tell it's John Daly.
My impression seeing this was that there's not a single joke from this trailer that works even to give me a mild chuckle. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, when's the last time I've seen a good comedy movie trailer? Like
they're all bad.
Even if the trailer, even if the film itself is fantastic, you go back and watch the trailer and it's just slapstick moments, because obviously in a trailer it's hard to get the setup, the punchline. So it's like very catchphrasy and very slapsticky. Even if the movie isn't like that at all, they will find the moment when somebody fell down. I remember watching like a sizzle reel from Arrested Development, and it was all just like catchphrase, falling down, Job crashes into a thing. It's like, well, that wasn't the show. But if you're given 1 minute to sell the humor of, that, and again, Happy Gilmore is not that, but I can't judge the film based on this trailer, because the trailer has like 8 or 9 shots of people getting hit in the nuts with golf balls. Like they just kept doing it.
Jokes take time. Even slapstick, I would argue, like some good slapstick, like, I don't know, the beginning of Naked Gun 2, where he just keeps accidentally hitting Barbara Bush. Like that's a repeat gag over and over again, where it gets funny, where it's just like, it's hard to stuff a joke into a trailer unless you like do one joke or something.
Well, because like comedy works the same way as horror in a lot of ways, right? It's all about surprise. So like it would be like a horror trailer, like showing you every scare. You know?
Shaun of the Dead is a good example. If you go back and watch that trailer, like it's cute. The trailer's cute, but it's again another one where it's like showing the broadest, quickest moments that aren't not funny. But it's just like it doesn't show like what makes that movie so unique and good.
I tend to just go based on premise. Because like we've been saying, like it's just so hard to tell with a comedy is like uniquely bad in terms of getting trailers, because like how do you make like we've been saying, how do you make a comedy trailer?
Right. And like this one, when I say that it's repeating all the same jokes, that doesn't mean that's all the movie's doing. It could be, but like I could see making a trailer and going like, let's just do all the ones that people
do
remember.
The hits. Yeah.
There's just something where like it feels like a Twilight Zone, because they show like Chubb's kid has no hand too. And I was like, is that like The Prestige, where it's like he had to cut off his own hand to be like his father? Where it's like they show a few where it's like the kid of that character is also doing that thing. So it feels like they're all in a world that's like that just like is in this constant weird cycle where everybody has to fulfill.
World,
yeah. Where it's like not only are the same people
universe.
Not only is it like everybody like 40 years later, how many fucking years ago that was? 30.
Jesus.
29 technically, it was 96, but we can round.
Right. They're all like still saying the same things, but then it's like, and their descendants are also doing it.
They've been infected with it.
Wait, how old is Adam Sandler now? I have to look this up.
He must 75.
He must be approaching 60.
58 years old. And I guess in the world of golf, golf is like an old people sport, so it's not.
John Daly is in this.
So you can have people that are 100 years old, but some comedies, and not to be ageist, but some comedies, I get real sad when there's old people in the comedy, and because they're reprising a role, like that Dumb and Dumber sequel when they're both 55, and it's like, okay, but the whole fun of that, when somebody's acting like that and they're nearing 60, that's dementia. That's not funny anymore. That's not a couple of dumb goofballs. That's somebody that's now a tragedy.
Yeah. It's nice when they evolve a character with these like long these sequels. And like Dumb and Dumber, it would have been funny if they like, I don't know, like worked at NASA or had like a corporate job or had some way too important job, and that's where we started them with, or something like they failed upwards and now we're seeing them. And I do, to your point, Tom, like this idea that's like, yeah, his golf career didn't work out. Why would it? Like he was a one-shot wonder there. And so like now, and I do like they allude to he has a bunch of kids who are all assholes like him, and it's like, so there are details there, which is like, okay, we're evolving the character a little.
And they live in his grandma's house and it's run down. Yeah,
there's some fun details where it's like everything's really sort of the same, but
really
changed.
Seems like love interest. What's her name, Julie Bowen from Modern Family,
right?
Really seems like she's dead in this movie.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It died in 9/11.
Yeah.
She was one of the hijackers, actually. It was really real tragedy.
It's weird.
Yeah. Really unexpected.
So yeah, I'll give it a shot. It's just like, it is like,
it's on Netflix. What do you have to lose?
You have nothing to lose.
Throw it on.
Happy Gilmore. Like, I'm not gonna not watch Happy Gilmore 2 on Netflix.
The stakes
all
are
I have
low.
to do is like raise my arm.
Yeah.
If you hear something funny going on in the background of your work, you can look up and look at it, and that's pretty funny. And you look away again. Hasn't bothered you at all. Like, it's Netflix gets their time watched metric down. They don't know if you're looking at the screen.
Yeah, they don't.
Everybody
care.
wins.
Yeah, it's some stuff to have on your screen. Adam Sandler knows that. He knows this place. If he wanted to go make another Oscar-winning movie, he could do that. He's like, no.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
I'm going on vacation with my friends, and you're going to film it, and you're going to pay me $60 million.
And everybody will be happy.
Everybody's going to be happy about it.
Everybody's going to make out like bandits. It's fine.
So yeah, Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah.
He's had the most fortunate life of any human being, hasn't he?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Am I wrong about that?
No, it's like he's like stealthily. I'm always seeing these like figures in articles and stuff. He's like one of the most successful actors of all time, just in terms of how much his movies cost versus the return.
And by all accounts, he's a very nice and chill guy.
Everybody who's ever met him says he's the nicest guy.
Yeah,
it is.
So if you're like Al Pacino, it's like, yeah, I'll do one of your shitty comedies.
Al Pacino doing freaking Jack and Jill.
Yeah,
we'll paycheck. What he shoot for one day probably got paid more than whatever else he'd been doing, whatever direct-to-video crap he'd been doing. It's like, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. I don't care.
It's the realization that, like, there's a great story I always think of Patrick Stewart, his first season on Star Trek, where he was like, this is serious. Everybody be serious. Like, we're not fucking around. This is work. We're making something. And then by season 2, he was like, I'm going to have to be doing this for years, aren't I? And he like relaxed because he realized like this has to be just a regular job and there's, everybody's worked with someone who's just like, it doesn't matter, man, take a break. It's fine. And Adam Sandler has that. There's actors who are like that, where they're like, listen, we're at work. Let's not bend over backwards. We're going to be here for a while. It's fine.
Let's not get too grandiose. We're making a movie here. All right. We're not like,
it's fine.
Like, yeah, I know art is important and everything, but like, calm down.
Yeah, we're making Star Trek. It's all right.
Star Trek here. Pump the brakes.
All right. Well, let's. Speaking of sequels, we got another sequel here. The Black Phone 2.
This is confounding. I never would have anticipated this.
So really?
Yeah, truly.
That first one made its budget back like 10 times over.
For sure.
There was nothing stopping the sequel from happening. If every single creative voice behind the first film said no, we've told our story, the studio would have been like, that's fine. We've got people lined up out the door who will shoot this freaking thing. We will slap that title on it. We'll make 5 times the budget back. We're going to make Black Phone 13.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, they could.
I guess I'm just more... Not like Ethan Hawke's not like Daniel Day-Lewis or anything, but like he always does interesting performances, and like you usually can tell like why he's picked a project, and it seems like it's not just for the money. So it just I never would have thought he would become like a Freddy Krueger slasher villain. And, like,
he did Sinister. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Working with this director.
That's true. Yeah, with this director. Yeah, but like,
who loves grainy fucking old home movies. I've been
sure
noticing
does.
that his
He
VHS,
sure
this Sinister, it's in everything.
He loves the Texas Chainsaw film flashbulb reloading sound.
Yeah,
too.
I would say I personally, after seeing Black Phone, I was like, this does actually feel very open for sequels, just because there was a ghost component,
The
right?
whole
Like that
premise
could have been
is supernatural. Yeah.
Right, that didn't have to be supernatural, but there's this whole component where ghosts are coming back. So when, spoilers, certain people die in the Black Phone 1, it's like, well, there's an easy fix to how you could make a sequel, I guess, because they've already given us those rules.
Man,
and I'm wondering,
those kids died for nothing, Dave.
I'm legitimately wondering if this is like a Friday the 13th situation where once you get to part 6, people will be like, in part 1, it was a totally different premise. He was alive and like he wasn't doing this.
He had
like,
a van full
crime.
of balloons.
Yeah, like it could be a whole because he's just Freddy Krueger in this. Like he's just seemingly in their dreams killing them.
I mean, I will admit, from a story point of view, I hate this kind of thing. If you've got a horror movie where the whole thing is like a survival story, somebody outlasting, survived, they finally win, and then it's like, no, he's back. No, all that stuff you did, nothing. It's
like Misery 2.
People are it's you crash your car again, and it turned out she's a cyborg now, and she's going to make you write a different book. It's like there are some horror premises where you've established that a certain monster exists, whatever, and it's always going to come back. And I get that you want to bring the stars back and all that, and the people need work, but I don't know. It's rough. From my point of view, I go back and watch the original movies, and it's like, well, no, that mattered.
Right. I guess I always think about like horror movies being like, you make the one, and then if it's good, you're rewarded with like a bunch of useless sequels until it's like, this will be the Black Phone Grabber versus Freddy, or like Grabber in space.
I forgot that's what his name is.
He's called the Grabber. And it's like, you still got the first one. Yeah. And I do agree where it's
bummed,
like some
right?
things.
You'd be sad if that was your serial killer name. Like you'd be sitting there like with that mask.
Like,
He's
well,
got
they're all grabbers.
Like he picks up the newspaper. And it's, oh man, really? Not Skullface or Captain Top Hat?
Grabber.
The Grabber?
Yeah.
Sounds like a mobility device.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it'll be a competent horror movie, and it will make its. This is what still makes money. It will make its budget back the opening weekend. And,
this is like a $28 million movie,
and it will make far more on streaming. It'll bubble back up every Halloween. This is the one thing that if you can get the thing shot for $30 million, you can make them forever. You're set.
Oh. There's one more thing I wanted to call out. It's not just the fact that he's like come back to life. That's like Freddy Krueger. Like he's like doing slasher movie kills in this. It's not about like a tense thing where he's keeping this kid in the basement. The kid has to escape. He's like chopping his way through victims, like blending somebody in a phone booth. It looks like.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's a tinge of Gremlins too, which I appreciate. Like Megan, the new Megan is this, right?
Yeah,
where they're like the moment Blumhouse came to them, they're like, "Here's a lot of money, make Megan 2," and they're like, "Why?" Actually, never mind. Yes. The answer is yes, and we'll make it completely different. We'll make an action movie. I get it with this stuff where it's like, if you're going to make a sequel, it's like, all right, well, I'm not going to make the first one again. So I guess it'll be a completely different fucking thing.
Yeah, go wild.
Yeah. I guess my defense of this is it has that mobility to go into this new thing, I guess. It is weird.
I never expected this. Like I just figured they would maybe take that money and just like Scott Derrickson and Ethan Hawke would just make another horror movie. Like
they're probably doing that too.
Yeah, probably.
Right? Yeah. Probably got a new boat as well.
Yeah. That's where they come up with it.
He named the boat the Grabber.
That's our spooky boat.
Yeah. That's where we come up with the spooky things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. The first one was fun. I enjoyed the first one. Right?
Yeah. It's fun. It's watchable.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
That one kid that did karate was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, it was like, what if a kid was awesome?
Right.
What are you gonna do about that?
I refuse to
kidnapper?
believe he got that kid. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
He had to shoot that kid. Don't lie to me, movie.
It's true.
That kid made him shoot him.
Oh yeah.
All right, we can move on.
All right. The Thursday Murder Club.
Oh man, what a delightful
people.
little murder mystery.
It's elderly
this is-
people. The enormously successful book series. I wish I had thought up. I'm not capable of writing something like this. But whereas it's a bunch of old people in retirement who work cold cases, and then they get a case that's not so cold, and they've got to try to solve it. But they're all charming, adorable old people. The murder is very sanitary. It's like the Hulu show with Steve Martin and Martin Short, the Only Murders
Right.
Only
in the
murders
Building.
in the building.
It's all very fun and goofy and delightful. And it's kind of thing that I think if you're looking at it from outside our culture, it would seem deranged that we would turn murder into something like this. But the old people having a charming murder investigation thing, everybody loves it. There's multiple shows on TV about this. There's one stars Ted Danson. I think it's on Netflix. I think my wife watched it.
Hell yeah.
This show will run forever until all of these actors have died. And then
This is a movie.
This is a movie, I think.
I was
It's not just a
100%
movie.
sure this was a series. I'm stunned to find it's a movie.
It's not just a movie. It's a movie directed by Chris Columbus.
Sure is.
Which I'm not sure why they didn't include that, but I guess it's like
it was in there.
From what?
It was at the
was
it was at the very end of the trailer. I saw it.
Oh,
I
okay.
had
I was
no
like, Chris
idea he
Columbus?
was still alive. None. I distinctly remember his in memoriam thing at the Oscars like 5 years ago.
Oh, really?
He is
recently
absolutely dead, and this is some sort of a scam. They're scamming his estate somehow.
he produced the Nosferatu movie. He's like doing a
How
lot of
old
weird
is
shit.
Chris Columbus? I'm sorry. Let me check this out.
If you had said that slightly differently, like no, Chris Columbus is dead.
I saw him die.
He's only 66.
Yeah.
He's 8
Wow.
years
He made
older
Home Alone
than
when
Adam
he was
8
Sandler.
years older than Adam Sandler.
I have just no concept of how old people are anymore.
No,
I can't
me
get any
either.
sense of it.
No.
He seems like he should be so much older than Adam Sandler
Yeah.
because he made Home Alone.
This looks.
And
this
young
is
Sherlock
like.
Holmes.
Was he a
Speaking of
child
getting
when he
old-
made those?
He must
This was
have
like
been.
1983.
He's 12.
Like, gosh, yeah.
Anyway, I thought this was like a direct to Netflix thing. Is this a theatrical release? This Thursday?
It
Murder
is
Club?
also a Netflix thing.
It is a
I
Netflix
believe.
movie. It's Helen Mirren, Pierce Brosnan, and Ben Kingsley are the sleuths.
It's exactly for Netflix. Like it's perfect.
This is like, man, this is a whole industry in like the BBC too. There's a million of these things, and my mom watched every single one of them, like Father Brown. There's a
My
bunch
parents
of them.
love Father Brown.
Yeah. I'm
I
blanking
love
on all
this
the other
shit.
ones, but
These murder mystery things, it's catnip. They go down so smoothly.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah.
She
I'll
would have
watch-
loved this. She would have loved this movie for sure.
I watch these old bastards solve crimes. This is going to be great. It's just like,
Poirot. That was a big one in our house.
yeah.
The
It's-
David
it's
Suchet
in-
one.
I put it in the same place as like courtroom dramas. Like I just watched Juror Number 2, which is,
Oh man, is it delightful?
it's delightful. Very stupid idea. But
It's
then
the
you
dumbest
watch it.
idea in the. It's a calculon premise.
Yeah, and it ends up being like really good and fun, and like it's just like, yeah, man, fucking more. Give me more. This is just, it's, I don't know. Old people, they're in a like a little polycule, right? Like
Oh, yeah.
they're, yeah.
They've all been
and
inside
they're
each
just-
other.
Yeah. Just solving a mystery.
That'll be just a straight up 25-minute scene right smack in the middle of it, and then doing the Devil's Triangle with Pierce Brosnan and who was the other old person, Chevy Chase, I don't know, Helen Mirren.
Yeah,
And
Helen
Chevy's
Mirren,
there.
Ben Kingsley. Yeah.
Just going to town on each other in a lemon party situation.
Jonathan Pryce is also in this, apparently.
Oh yeah, get him in there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. There's
Always
a lot
room
of.
for a price.
Oh yeah. Oh man. All right.
I'm gonna live long enough to see like Andy Samberg in these type of old people movies.
I
It's
know.
gonna hurt me
It's
a
gonna
lot.
be weird. We're gonna see
Especially-
Jim Carrey doing these before too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing is that Tom Cruise really should be doing the lawyer movie stuff, and it's like, man, you don't have to like cling to the underneath the plane at this point. You can just do like a dignified. You can act. Do you remember you can act?
He did that stuff. He's like Benjamin Buttoning his career,
Right.
Where it's like he did like
few
a firm and shit.
Yeah.
He's doing
Firm
another
with a few
Top
good
Gun.
Yeah.
They're doing another Top Gun movie. It's like that movie was explicitly about you ending your Top Gun phase.
Being
Like,
done. Yeah.
no, I feel like I'm 30. You don't look at, and it's fine. You look way better at 60 than I do now. You're still Tom Cruise. Do your handsome, play the president in a movie where the White House gets taken over by terrorists. I don't care.
Do
that
other
Harrison Ford
roles. Yeah. Like
He's Adam Sandlering it though, just in a way more grandiose way. He's essentially like, listen, if I do a Mission Impossible every 2 years, I don't have to worry about anything else. That's all. I can just do this.
It employs like 3,000 people.
Yeah, he's a little economy.
Do the listeners realize that it's not just that Tom Cruise was good in Magnolia? He wrote that role. Like those monologues, Frank Mackey, he wrote that. He invented that character. He invited Paul Thomas Anderson over to his house because Tom Cruise has like a movie studio in his house with like a stage and lights so he can see what like costume stuff looks like on camera. And showed him the outfit he came up with this character and the mannerisms and the presentation. Like Tom Cruise did that on his own time, but like unpaid. He just did that because he loves to do stuff. When in other movie shoots, when they show a close up of the actor's hands doing something, that's not the star. That's not Brad Pitt's hands. That's somebody else. They call
Almost
those
never.
inserts.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, that's Tom Cruise's hands. You can't get him to leave the set. He does the insert stuff when other actors are acting and they're like talking to somebody off camera. It's his character. Normally you'd have just somebody stand in and read the other line. No, that's Tom Cruise. He's just there all the time.
Well, like, in a lot of cases, he literally can't leave. He's the producer.
Yeah, he's the producer as well.
So he is a great writer. He's not just a good actor. He's a great actor. He's a great writer. He's a great understanding of character. There's so much interesting work he can do. I find his stunt work to be the most boring thing of all the stuff he does. His stunt work I find the least interesting.
He used to play a great asshole all the time. We mentioned A Few Good Men, Color of Money, Magnolia. Like he is, I don't know.
Collateral, play a bad guy.
Collateral.
Again. Like I want to see, like I
But
want to
again,
see
he's
60-year-old Tom Cruise. Like I want to see Tom Cruise in this stage of his career. Like, normally actors have stages in their career where now I'm like Pierce Brosnan moved from James Bond to now he's in the grandfather roles, like I want to see like what is Tom Cruise like in the grandfather roles? Like George C. Scott had to go into the grandfather roles. I feel like
he feels like he can't do that. Like he's not allowed to do that, but he is. He will win Oscars doing that stuff, playing whatever
be a Bond villain. Holy shit. Could you imagine if the next Bond movie had Tom Cruise as the villain?
He's retired though. He's Liam Neeson. Like he's just like, I'm going to do this until I die when I fall into the Grand Canyon or
that
something.
Role in
that's it.
That
Evil
role
Knievel's.
in Tropic Thunder where people think that's like a bit of stunt casting, like, oh, that's Tom Cruise under all that makeup. That role was not in the script. Tom Cruise gave them Les Grossman. Like, he came up with that whole look, everything about the way the guy dresses and the open shirt and the big chubby hands and the
big
bald,
hands,
the sunglasses, the manner of speaking, the dancing that's all Tom Cruise. The whole thing is him. He's a great comedian. He could
what's
just
interesting
do
about
comedy and he would dominate.
Hey, well, this is where the producer ran. He did that specifically because it was right after the Oprah couch thing.
career rehab.
And if you're like, he did it as rehab, and if that's when they also cast Jeremy Renner in the Mission Impossibles, just in case. And that was Tom Cruise, who literally as a producer
of Mission Impossible.
Yeah, it was like, we might need a backup. We might need to replace me, Tom Cruise, the star. If I don't make people like me again, and I'll quit it with the Xenu shit, and we'll get back onto that was a calculated thing he did as a producer. It's so weird.
He's still a Scientologist, by the way. He
never, he's charged
disavowed
by
any of that stuff or left the church. It's just that all of cancel culture came for Tom Cruise, and he just effortlessly stiff-armed it. It's like, you are nothing compared to me. Like, you think you can take me down?
Steve Young run.
You think all of your jokes about me on the late night, you think that's going to stop me? I'm smarter than all of you people. I'll just stop talking about it. I'm not going to bring it up anymore. I'm not going to do interviews about it. If you try to ask me about it in an interview, I'll cut you off, and then I will just make people love me because it'll be like, look, I'm out here working for you. I'm risking my life for you.
Yeah.
Let me strap myself to the side of the Burj Khalifa.
Yeah. And we loved it. Yeah. It's like, no, you're right. We don't care. We don't care how many people that church has killed. You could have people in your basement right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
He knows where Shelley Miscavige is.
Yeah, probably. Almost certainly. It would be weird if he didn't.
Anyway, right?
There's no Tom Cruise movie on this list. I'm just saying that this is the type of old person movie, the comfortable old person movie that you shot in like a week that he could be doing, and he's choosing not to.
I really want to. I want to see him in a cozy old person murder mystery for sure. My goodness, could you imagine? I'm excited for Timothy Oliphant to reach this phase of his career. Oh, can you imagine him in a Gosford Park?
He'll be a real cranker. Yeah, that's great.
He's gonna be the crotchetiest old man.
I'm getting depressed, watching the new the Thunderbolts, where they're talking to Bucky, and they're like, "Yeah, you're like the old generation Avenger," and I'm like, "He is." Yeah. And I thought about, it, I was like, "Oh fuck, he is."
Yeah,
it's like 15 years.
Turned to dust when that happened in Thunder.
It's like, son of a bitch.
It's like, one of the Avengers. And it's like, no, he's one of the new. No, he's not.
Oh God, no.
He's not.
Yeah,
that movie was 15 years ago.
Son of a bitch. Let's talk about this next one. Daniela Forever. This is another Eternal Sunshine. It's a guy in his streams, and there's magic and stuff. It's the director of Colossal, which is an extremely good movie, at least in my opinion. And I've never seen anything else he's done. And watching this trailer, I was like, you're right, I should watch other films he's made.
Yeah, I really like Colossal.
Yeah. Jason, did you see that movie?
That's the one where there's a kaiju, and is that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this looks equally weird, right? Where the whole thing is the guy's trying to do a lucid dreaming thing, and then he comes up with a dream girl, but then not to spoil anything, although I suspect it is a spoiler, even though it's in the trailer. She's not into it, even though she's his fantasy.
She's literally his dream girl, yeah.
Yeah, so it's she kind of has agency, and I know that there was that, the Charlie Kaufman movie was about that.
I'm thinking of Ending Things.
Yeah, where it's like suddenly she's sentient, and so there's this allegory of the thing we were talking about. Like, if you have an AI girlfriend, does it work if she doesn't occasionally try to break up with you? Because that's part of what would be the allure, is like, well, no, I won her over.
Yeah, and I need to actually maintain this relationship.
Yeah, you think the fantasy is that she loves you no matter what, but that would get very boring. So I think there's part of that in this trailer. It's like he's right. Well, no, but you are my fantasy, and she's like, oh yeah, but I don't like this.
Still gotta work.
It's like getting broken up with on the holodeck, where you're just like, hey. Or I guess the movie Her.
Yes, yeah, that's another great example. Yeah, she's like, well, no, I'm dating other humans. I'm an AI. I can have as many men as I want.
That might be one of my favorite reveals in film history, is the reveal that dating an AI in that universe is just a common thing.
Oh yeah, that was great. It's like everybody's doing it. No one cares.
It's not weird. It's just like a normal thing.
Yeah, because you think that's what the movie is going to be about,
right? Yeah, like it's going to be this weird,
people are just like
boundary shattering thing, and it's like no, it's just like just the kind of relationship people have.
Some people do.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people I know like their best friend is a dog? Why is this different from that?
Right.
Like, yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care, man.
Yeah.
Who was the main person in this? I can't remember now.
I didn't recognize them. I could look it up, and I will look it up. Is it Henry Golding?
Yes, that's who it was. Yes.
Where do I know him from? He does look very familiar.
Gosh, The Gentleman.
He's one of the gentlemen.
A Simple Favor.
I'm seeing here he's
Snake Eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You could have just said Snake Eyes.
Okay. Yeah, I was getting there. I was getting there. And the lady is from season 2 of White Lotus, but I don't know the actress's name.
Everybody is either from White Lotus or Euphoria. I've noticed. Everybody who I'm like, who is that person? They're from one of those two things that you don't watch.
Yeah, you know Michael Imperioli from The White Lotus.
What?
F. Murray Abraham from The White Lotus, you know.
All right, that one works.
You don't know Michael Imperioli?
I'd know him if I saw him. I'm not good with names. It's fine. This looks fun.
It's Christopher, Dave.
Oh, it's Christopher. I love Christopher. Just say Christopher.
Okay, I'll say Christopher next
and
time.
Snake Eyes.
And Snake Eyes. Christopher and Snake Eyes, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This looks like really beautifully crafted and like a weird ass.
Yeah, they do this like aspect ratio thing, but it's not just the aspect ratio; it's also the film quality.
Yeah, I like the way the things were changing. Felt very dreamlike in a way I hadn't really seen before, where it was like kind of a gooiness, I guess.
Yeah, a real gooiness.
I'm so dumb that every time I watch a movie where they've done like this switching aspect ratio thing, I 100% of the time thought, well, the screen's broken.
Right.
Somebody tell go get the manager that the thing like it's cutting off at the edge of the screen. This is like a TV ratio. Somebody tell them that they're projecting it wrong. Because I don't realize
you have to deal with like a 2-minute rage every time.
It's like no, it's an artistic statement. See, because it's to symbolize this shift between the confines of his waking life and then the expansive cinematic like vista of his dream world. It's like, yeah, but part of the screen's black. I can't see part of the movie. You don't understand what I'm saying. Part of the movie is not on the screen.
I paid for the whole movie.
I paid for the whole movie.
Show me the whole movie.
I want to see what's over there. Why can't I see what's over
there? I've told this story before, but when I worked in a movie theater, Moulin Rouge, right at the ending, the film burnt, and the audience just went, "Oh, that's interesting," and got up and left because it just burnt away, and then there was just nothing. They just assumed that was part of the movie.
The Tree of Life, getting the reels played out of order, and nobody noticed.
I want to note this director also did the one really good segment in VHS Viral, the Parallel Universe one.
Oh,
with the monsters. This is the same director.
I wouldn't call it really good, but it was.
I really
decent.
like that one.
It's probably the best in that.
It's
movie.
It's the best of that movie, I would say. So yeah, I don't know. I'm realizing like I need to see more of this person's work because I've only seen 2 things. And he made Open Windows, which had Elijah Wood in it. And Elijah Wood is a maniac. So like, that movie's going to be something else.
He's just completely deranged.
Yeah.
What was he just in where he played like the bullying stepdad? Holy fuck, what was that?
The Monkey.
The Monkey, that's right.
He was in The Monkey.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Now he's in The Toxic Avenger.
He sure is.
Of course he is. It would be so strange if he was not in the Toxic Avenger movie.
I know.
I would think something was wrong. I would be worried something had happened to him if he wasn't in that movie. The Ring finally got him.
Yeah. All right, we have another trailer. Did you guys have time to watch this one?
Trust.
This was the last minute.
Yes.
Man, this
Trust.
looks like trash.
So this is the Sophie Turner one, right?
Fascinated by the Lord of the Rings cast and which ones, because that was the biggest show in the world for a while, and which of those people, because you can track the careers.
Game of Thrones, you mean?
Yeah, Game of Thrones. Sorry, what did I say?
You said Lord of the
Lord
Rings,
of the
so
Rings.
it's
Lord of the
really
Rings.
confused.
Because we were just talking about
yeah.
the Lord of the Rings kid. But it's fascinating to see how many people on that cast got, because Emilia Clarke had a moment. She had that Terminator movie, remember that? And
Last Christmas?
I cannot pronounce the name of the guy who plays Jaime Lannister, but that's the guy who I thought was going to be a star the first time I watched the show. It's like, well, he'll be Batman in 5 years or whatever. I don't know what he's doing these days.
It's one of the weirdest phenomenon that existed in the 90s and you think wouldn't exist today, which is that if you're on a successful TV show, that's it. Like like some people break out, but like
It's really hard
the entire
to
cast of
transition,
Star Trek, like Star Trek, the X-Files, like where it's like, yeah, they'll do some
Friends.
movies here and there, Friends, but they like it's just wild how many actors once they do a TV show, they're done. And I wonder if it's two things. It's one, that's the typecasting, and two, that they have so much money that they don't care anymore.
But is that still the model? Like, is Sophie Turner still rich from Game of Thrones? It's just she's still getting residuals, or is that already changed? Because like these days in the streaming world, you do not get rich off of a show, even if it's a huge hit. Like they have totally changed how it works because you're in so few episodes.
That's true. I'm sure she probably worked something out, she and her people, by the end of that series run, because it was the biggest show in the world. So she's probably all right.
Yeah,
But this
and
show,
this movie,
this
I do
looks
wonder
like
if it's
a
just a
direct
perception thing.
This looks like a direct-to-streaming thing that was shot on somebody's phone, and I know that it's from like the production company that did Saw. Is that who this is? Or
Yeah,
Yeah.
Twisted Pictures.
But like their
This looks
logo
like-
looks like something that's homemade, and everything about the premise just seems like they've kind of forced this thing where it's like they leaked her nudes, and now she's out to get revenge, but now they're about to get revenge on her because she tried to get revenge on them, and she's trapped in her house. And I don't know. I kind of lost track of the threads.
Yeah, I was gonna. That's
the
what I was gonna
premise-
say. Is do you guys know what this is about? Because I sure don't.
I looked it up. A Hollywood actress hides in a remote cabin after a scandal, only to find herself betrayed and fighting for survival against someone she once trusted. It's called Trust. And like, that is so, like, this might be an amazing film. It's impossible to tell. And it's one of those
Dave,
movies that
it's
I'm
not.
never going to remember it. Like that name, Trust. I'm going to be like, what is that again? And then the
It's
premise.
the song from the Batman soundtrack.
Yeah, it is. You're right. And the premise is so generic where it's like it's someone running from other people. And that's it. And it's like, okay, you know, like there's a million of these. I just don't really like, I don't know. It's got Katie Siegel in it. It's got Leela.
It does.
Leela's
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Peg
And I'm
Bundy.
like, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, she's great.
Yeah.
I just, man, like it's passing right through me, this one.
And there's a brief moment when they like discuss how the character played by Sophie Turner is over the hill or something. Like people are done with you because you've gotten old, but she's not old, right? Wasn't she a child in Game of Thrones? And that wasn't very long ago.
Well, that was 15 years ago.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Anyway,
the Stranger Things kids. Yeah,
Stranger Kids. Yeah.
but yeah,
they've
It
all
is
got
really-
Stranger
children
Kids. Stranger. Yeah.
of their own. They're all somehow Stranger Things age now.
Yeah.
Millie Bobby Brown's on like her second marriage.
yeah.
She literally is married. Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah, it's we're getting to that. But anyway, I can't keep track of how old people are. I still remember we did a Hypecast, I don't know, a couple years ago when they had a movie where Sandra Oh was playing like gross old grandma monster. And it's like, Sandra Oh,
right,
the hottest woman in the world? Like, well, no,
Right.
she's like 51. She's gross old grandma now. Like,
What are we
I'm
doing?
not sure. I'm not sure I
a bummer.
agree.
Yeah.
I'm sure I agree with you. I know I'm getting older. I know that's anyway. I don't.
It is pretty whack though, and nowadays it's hard to even tell how old people are because I don't know, actors they all look young to me. You know, it's that thing where there's no old guys.
We've hit that
in movies.
age where
there's no balding guys in movies anymore.
Well, also when you go back and find out that like the movie Cocoon, like the older people don't remember that was an 80s movie about a bunch of elderly people, and the oldest actor was like 48. Like Wilford Brimley was like 39 when he made that because people just looked like that back then.
Don Amici's like 42.
Like when Cheers was on, like Sam Malone, the retired baseball player, that character was supposed to be like 31. Like I remember as a kid thinking these are all old people, and Coach was like 43. They're all children. They're all small children. Norm was like 28.
Yeah, Norm had a hard life.
Yeah. Hey, they were all in a bar. They were all this is what they did every day. Yeah, Trust. It's fine. Should we talk about the last one?
Yeah.
The big one. This is the big one. We saved it for last. Frankenstein. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, starring
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac. Who's the monster?
Jacob Elordi from Saltburn.
From Saltburn.
He might also be like a Euphoria. I don't know.
God damn.
He's got to be in at least one of the White Lotus seasons.
Yeah,
at this
probably.
point, yeah.
He's the type.
It's got Mia Goth, Ralph Ineson, because it's like by law he has to be in this.
If you're making like a creepy gothic film, you have to have Ralph Ineson. Yes.
Yeah. Chuck Dance is there. Apparently,
Sea Dance. Oh man.
Yeah, Sea Dance. Christoph Waltz. They got all the weirdos.
And
this
going
movie full of weirdos.
Direct to Netflix, right next to Happy Gilmore 2.
That's
where people are going to see this on the thumbnail. They'll be flipping around the thumbnails like, oh, there's Happy Gilmore 2, and there's this Frankenstein TV show. Let's watch. Which one do you want to put on the background while we play Candy Crush on our phones?
I did look up the guy who plays the monster. He is in fact on Euphoria.
Okay,
24 episodes of Euphoria. Yeah. I don't know. Why can't this be in a theater? I would watch this in the fucking theater.
He made a deal with Netflix. He made a Netflix deal.
Yeah, he made the Fish Fucker. He made the Fish Fucker movie, and everybody was like, listen.
He won an Academy Award, and they're like, get to Netflix.
Yeah.
It is the economics of the streaming thing. I know you guys have probably talked this to death. It is so weird, and it is so tenuous. Because as people have pointed out, you guys may have pointed out that like Apple and Amazon, on Severance, each season of that cost $200 million. And Amazon is funding however many movies that Lord of the Rings thing they made for, I don't know, it's in the billions.
It was like $1 billion. Yeah,
it's multi-billions. Both of those companies, they don't make money off their streaming at all. At any time, both of them could just pull the plug and say, because like what's Apple getting out of streaming? It's purely prestige. They're not like, this is a rounding error. Like 1 week's worth of sold lost AirPods pays for this season of Severance. It's purely for awards. It's to show off.
It's mess around money for Apple.
Yeah, and Amazon too. These are both loss leaders. These companies are not making money from their movies and their TV shows at all. They're losing money. At any time, they could completely pull the plug on their media business, and a whole bunch of your favorite directors, actors, stars, writers. Like, those are two of the big platforms. They're still throwing stupid cash at these projects. You will go to the little Apple app, and suddenly there'll be like this blockbuster movie that they made for $250 million starring several famous people. You've never heard of it in your life. And it's just on Apple's app. And it's like, oh, okay, Apple's keeping a lot of this stuff afloat. And at any time they could stop because this is just a thing they're doing as a hobby. And they probably don't even remember they have it sometimes. Like they can spend that money on Severance because who cares? But at any time, those could go away. The number of players in this game, like Netflix they make their money off content that they have to have Stranger Things stuff like that. That's all they do. There's not that many players where that's true. And a lot of these like Peacock is a loss leader for the company that owns it. I can guarantee you that shows like, what are these Peacock originals they have? They're not making their money back. Streaming loses money.
MacGruber was one of them.
Oh,
There's
man.
no way MacGruber made its money back.
Yeah, and so it's just, they've got all these metrics where they're trying to translate, well, how many people subscribe to do to MacGruber? I'm going to guess not a huge number.
Yeah, at least
you
one.
did.
I did.
At a certain point, they must just look at how much money they're making and just go like, yeah, we have this much money to spend on anything we feel like. And that's sort of it.
I think
where it's
a
like,
big
as long as
part
we're
of
not,
it was the race to streaming, because it was like the next big, they all do this. They throw all their money into the next big thing, and it turns out the bottom drops out of it. And I think a lot of it is just they're stuck in streaming now, and they're not sure how to disentangle themselves from it, because it's an impossible model to make money on.
I have a stupid question. Oh, no, go on.
No, because what I was about to ask was an equally stupid question, because in the previous more profitable model, the cable package model, where everybody had to pay $300 a month for cable and had to pay for 75 channels they never even knew they had, because the way they forced them to bundle, and then that money is what paid for a show like Mad Men. That they weren't
Mountain Monsters.
They were not buying $300 million blockbusters to stick on cable, right? Like that stuff was so I don't know why in the streaming era it's like, because there's that Fountain of Youth movie starring John Krasinski, and that's like a 250. Right. There's no one listening knows what movie I'm talking about. It's a huge budget blockbuster that is on streaming right now. I can't even remember if it's on Disney Plus or if it's on Apple or one of the other ones. It's a blockbuster, like straight up blockbuster budget. It's not in any theaters. It's called The Fountain of Youth. It's an Indiana Jones globe-trotting adventure that probably employed 3,000 people.
And it's I still haven't watched it, but I mean it's a treasure hunting movie, so it's hard to resist. And I've heard mixed things, and some people being like, this is really, really good. And it's just, I've literally been like, I got to remember my Apple TV login to do this, to watch this. So I'll just do it later. Like it's
an Apple.
Okay,
yeah, it's an Apple original.
34%.
Has 34% on Rotten Tomatoes. And Apple again, Apple probably, there's some spreadsheet where the $250 million they spent on this movie is just down there at the bottom.
I mean, you guys got to understand, when it comes to treasure hunting movies, the lower the Rotten Tomatoes score, the better the treasure hunting
Dave,
movie.
I have great news for you. Quoting the Guardian review, it adds up to nothing more than Indiana Born and the Thomas Crown Da Vinci Code.
Ooh, yeah.
So in other words, you need to watch this immediately.
Yeah. I want to ask my stupid question.
Mm-hmm.
At what point does a Frankenstein film be a universal Frankenstein film? A universal monster?
Because it has to look like that Frankenstein is a big part of it.
This isn't that. And like, I remembered all this, after Dark Universe, then they made like the Invisible Man. They're like, oh, okay, let's do this instead. They did the Wolfman. And then I kept hearing about a Frankenstein. And are we going to get like competing Frankensteins? Are we going to get that?
Possibly, yeah.
Are we going to get a gritty, grounded Frankenstein? Because I do think this is kind of the way to do Frankenstein. It's hard to do it.
It's a gothic horror tale, so yeah,
it's like this is kind of the best version of a modern Frankenstein, which is just to do the thing again, Well,
and Guillermo del Toro doing it too is such like an obvious choice. It's like, oh well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, and it's sort of like this is, I don't know. I can see the instinct of being like, we're going to make a new hip or a gritty Frankenstein, and I feel like they tried, didn't they? Like the De Niro one,
they made Hot Frankenstein.
When did they make
Frankenstein?
I Frankenstein. Holy shit.
Remember the Gargoyle War?
Oh, I remember.
Frankenstein caught in the balance.
Yeah.
Listeners, if you have not watched a show called Penny Dreadful that was on, I think, Showtime a long time ago, it is the most beautifully written. I think there's passages lifted directly from the original. The text, it is the most beautifully written Frankenstein story that also has all the other monsters in it. It's a case where they take it dead serious, has an incredible cast. Pierce Brosnan. It's great. Called Penny Dreadful. It's out on streaming somewhere. I don't know what cable platform.
I think it was Showtime.
Yeah, probably Showtime. One of those that nobody had. Nobody watched it when it was new. I didn't have any friends that. I think my brother watched it, and that was it. But no, it was a masterpiece. If you love the old monster stuff, go watch it.
Okay.
A lot of
Does it
nudity,
have a Frankenstein?
just nonstop nudity. Yes, it has the Frankenstein that is the eloquent Frankenstein, the one who like gives these long, beautiful speeches. Like he's not a grunting monster. He's not the universal Frankenstein. He's the one who is like on a path of revenge against the doctor for making him. But that's like the funniest. Speaks like there is nothing funny about this. It is not winking at the camera. It is just like heartbreaking. It's amazing.
Huh. That's conceptually the funniest though. If someone was like, "Hey, so I reanimated a person made from other corpse parts and brought him to life," and I said like, "What's he like?" and he was like, "He's talkative." That would be a surprising answer to me. That he has like a lot going on. But, good for that Frankenstein.
He's really wrestling with something. Because if you said like, "What's he like?" He's mad. He's real mad.
Yeah. He's really angry.
You'd be like, I get that. Yeah, you'd expect that answer. Real furious.
Yeah. Well, should we thank some more producers?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Big old thank you to buy Jason Pargin's highly controversial new book. I'm starting to worry about this Black Box of Doom out now.
It's $3 this month.
$3. Thank you. Thank you to Chester's Prophet.
Thank you.
Thank you to Christopher Robert Sparts, Esquire.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Dan Hackroyd.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dave. I didn't say when in June. I got another week before I return to hell. Rough. All right.
Savor it.
Thank you to David Knife Boot Henson.
Thank you.
Thank you to Deborah is awesome. Barbara is great and cancer can go to hell.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dr. Slaphammer has seen the Minecraft movie 9 times.
Too many times.
Don't do that. Thank you to Driftless thinks he can dance like Barishnikov up Mount Everest. And thank you to Exploding Runes.
Thank you to both of those fine producers. Let me jump in here. Thank you to Funky J Mostly comes out at night. Mostly.
Thank you.
Thank you to Heathcliff's Helping Handfuls.
Thank you.
Thank you to Highlander likes the way Tom says pretty sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you to Ombre.
Thank you.
Thank you to Impossible Worlds. We have your Swaim and will release him for the cost of your subscription. Evil Laughter. Thank you to Joe Man, the annoying skeleton.
Thank you.
Thank you to Lieutenant Frank Drebin, Police Squad.
Thank you.
Thank you to Look Ma, I'm on a podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mackenzie, fuck shuffling with Willem Dafoe's confusingly large dick, chill.
Thanks.
Thank you to Mike the Lurker.
Thank you.
And thank you to Norm from Cheers.
Thank you.
28-year-old Norm from Cheers.
All right. Let's talk about Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1, Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 2, and Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 3.
First Blood Part 2.
It's Netflix being like, we don't want you to cancel your Netflix, right? It's just like, we're so beyond what television is supposed to be, in my mind.
This is The Sopranos' fault.
Netflix has shows they release on a weekly basis, right? They don't do everything. Because like here, they're doing batches. They're doing 4 episodes going to drop on Thanksgiving. They're going to drop 3 episodes on Christmas. And then the season and series finale will drop on New Year's. But why... because like Andor was a weekly release, so Severance was a weekly. Severance was saved by the fact that it was a weekly release because you had tons of discussion, tons of social media traction. Like that gave it time to percolate on TikTok. People were sharing these clips.
Yeah.
So Netflix they will do weekly releases. So I'm not sure I understand this bundle drop.
I'm trying to remember.
I don't know. This feels like they asked the computer.
What's something they put out weekly?
Games? The Squid Games?
Game? Oh.
I think that was weekly, right?
See, now we're saying this, I'm doubting myself, but I feel like at some point they gave in on that because it was established that actually no, in this era, when you're depending on social media traction, dumping 10 episodes all at once, it doesn't work. You need people to be arguing about what's going to happen next and anticipating.
That's always been the thing too. It's the water cooler stuff. Like that's what keeps the show going. So it's dumping it out all at once kind of never made much sense.
Right. Like I did enjoy that.
Sure.
But I did miss things. Like
that's when they thought binging was going to be the model. They thought binging was going to be the thing.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if people remember this part. The show Breaking Bad was saved by Netflix. It was a very low-rated show on AMC. The previous seasons, they were doing season 4 on broadcast. The previous seasons got dumped to Netflix, where it became a perfect binge watch. The binge watch on the previous season to build hype for the episodes that were coming out every week on broadcast, that was the model because it caught everybody up all at once. It was very convenient to just, they autoplay right in front of you. Like, that's perfect because Breaking Bad, like, my God, I can't turn away from this. I've got to see what happens next. How's he going to get out of this? And then it's like, okay, now season 4 airing next week. And suddenly the ratings for those live episodes skyrocketed because people would binge watch on Netflix and then come. It was like the best of both worlds. But when a show just dumps all at once, like I get originally there was like a novelty to it, but man, I don't know. I can see here like them splitting up the dumps. This is so purposeful because like, okay, we'll give you 4 and then you'll have weeks of YouTube reactions, Easter egg reaction videos, all that stuff, that whole ecosystem of we're going to talk about the podcast. We're going to talk about the episodes we just watched, but then it's all building to the next dump of episodes. But I don't get why at that point you can't just do an episode a week unless the fans would just fly into a rage that they're not getting them all at once. But it's not like that's unheard of.
I don't know.
I think people would just deal with it. Yeah.
This would all go down smoother if it weren't for the fact that season 1 came out 2016.
10 years it will be when this comes out finally.
It's 5 seasons. 5 seasons.
42 episodes total. 42 episodes of television.
Right. That's 2 seasons of a show from the 90s. And they would come out all within 2 years of each other. It's just, I was looking at, oh, go on.
Well, kids, like the equivalent show from my childhood was the X-Files. That was their weird monster thing. And they were doing 24 episode seasons every year on the dot. They would take the summer off and that fall it would be back. Like there was a new episode every week. Like, and I don't know, there's like 180 episodes of the X-Files in existence.
Right. 2, I think.
And this is like, it's so weird because the model, they keep doing this, right? Where it'll be more years between and less episodes. Like The Last of Us is that now, where the new season, it's like fewer episodes, the True Detective, fewer episodes. And what's so funny to me about it is the model they're doing is we're weaning you off of the show model. So like looking at it, 2016 season 1, 2017 season 2, 2019 season 3. So, okay, a few years. 2022 season 4. Okay, a few more years. And now 2025 season 5. It's like they're purposefully wanting us to be less excited and less into the show by doing that. Where by the time this season rolls up, I'm like, I don't remember this show anymore.
Also,
I simply don't.
The premise is that it was a show about children. Like I'm not, mad at these actors for aging. They can't stop the passage of time, but it was a show about children. That was the premise.
That was the draw. That was the draw.
Right. And I feel like they're going to kind of address that where they keep doing they're getting older, things are moving on. And it's like, that wasn't really like the draw of the show.
About it. Yep.
Yeah. It's not about like growing up. It was about scary, Boogans going after kids. And now it's like you can just legally get a gun now. Like just get a gun. You're fine. You don't need a magical kid anymore. Just go to the gun store. It's fine.
You can
it's
all
80s,
drive now. You can all, you're not having to find the one older kid who's got a license. You've all got cars at this point. It's a bunch of grown-ups this is happening to. Anyway,
right.
And again, not their fault. There's people like mad at Millie Bobby Brown for not being a child anymore. Like, right. That's weird. That's super weird. In fact,
yeah,
that's People
been
like
10
post
years.
pictures of her. It's like, what happened to her? Like, she's 10 years older. What are you talking about?
Time. What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's. I'll watch it.
Well,
I'll
yeah,
watch the
we
stupid
have
season.
to. Yeah, we got to see how it ends. But
Again,
Yeah.
it's on
But, like,
Netflix. What are you talking about? You just hit a button. What?
Yeah.
It'll auto play. You don't even have to do
Sure.
anything. You just turn on the app. I guarantee you they will make Stranger Things start playing. You don't even have to do that. You watch anything else on there, it's recommended. Oh, if you liked this documentary about World War I, you'll like Stranger Things season 5. We're playing it now. Our algorithm says that
TV's
basically
going to just turn on.
no matter what you're watching, this is what you're going to watch next, no matter what you clicked on. So yeah, you're going to watch it. It's not like we have to leave the house.
Yeah, that's true.
wake up and the TV's just in your room.
Yeah.
playing Stranger Things.
Waddled in.
Yeah.
This counts, it says. This counts as a view. We want
Counts
you to know
as a view.
that. These are all minutes watched.
Man, I don't. It's fine. I'm just glad it'll be over. I guess I don't know.
Boy, it's a bummer.
It could have been over 5 years ago.
It should
If
have
they
been
had
over
just done-
5 years ago, and then I would have
Again-
still been enthusiastic about it. But man,
Here's
it's
the-
just hard
here's
to
the thing
care
I think-
anymore.
I think they need to kind of get. You mentioned Sopranos. I would argue Game of Thrones also did this, which is that we hit a point, and this is kind of everybody's fault, where like TV shows used to be cheaper looking than movies. We all accepted that. Where it was like the special effects weren't going to be as good. It was going to be a little cheesier. You look at, Star Trek, even the X-Files, where it's like it's shot differently. It's lit differently. It's a lot more, it's always like these sets that it's, that they use every week, right? And they write around finding ways to do that. And in exchange, you get 22 episodes of that show because they could just churn them out and they were affordable to make. And then once Game of Thrones is like, this episode cost $50 million to make, and it's like, well, don't. Why are you doing that? That's too expensive. Yeah, you're spending too much money on
Jurassic
one
Park. You can make a Jurassic Park for that money.
Right. Just it maybe the dragons don't look as good. That's okay. It's TV.
Doesn't need
I
to.
just want to watch.
If RRR taught us nothing else, is that it doesn't matter if the animals look real.
Yeah. Just get the episodes out.
They just
make
have
a million
to look
episodes.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. When
Just
that
make-
guy
that's. I mean,
grabbed the leopard and threw it at another guy, I wasn't sitting there like, well, they didn't use a real leopard for that. It's like, yes. This is the 5th time I've watched the movie, and that still surprises me. I still can't believe he threw that leopard at that guy. I'm delighted every time. Does not look real at all. Do not care.
Doesn't need to.
does it look awesome? Yes, it does.
Andor, the 2 seasons combined, the total cost of that show was $650 million.
Oh, no.
$650 million. Tony Gilroy actually confirmed that this week in interviews because he had to
Holy shit.
He had to fight Disney over that budget. And I'm thinking, man, if you were making TV in the 90s and you went to the studio and said, I'm going to make 2 seasons of this and I need $650 million, they would have their security guards beat you to death and then drag your body
Dick
to the
Ebersol
street.
would just shoot you in the heart.
He would have a gun in his drawer. He would just pull it out and shoot you, and no one would convict him. It would go down as suicide.
Gosh, I was so sure you were about to say a reasonable number for some reason. Just to be like, in contrast, this great show Andor that everybody's talking about, they made for like $40 million.
Show,
no, because
famously is a talkie show. All of its best scenes are Stellan Skarsgård in a room just chewing the scenery, and you're just riveted. It's like, yeah, but this scene.
Oh no, not just a room, the same rooms. Like they shoot it like a TV show where it's like, here's his store again, his little shop.
Yeah, his little antique shop. Great set. Probably a $5 million set, but you can shoot half the season in there. I would be fine with it. He's the special effect. And it's like, no, but we've got the stuff on Coruscant where you can see all of the whole cityscape. And it's like, man, I'm telling you, that's not the best parts of the show.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I got to tell you, man, I didn't need to see the entire planet every time they landed on it in Star Trek.
No, yeah. I get it.
Got it.
Just need one shitty matte painting. We're good, baby.
Good to go. So, go back and count how many episodes of the original series take place on the bridge.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot.
Or like, oh, we're in that cave again.
Yep.
Or it's
Same
like,
cave.
Sure are. Yeah.
Same purple cave.
Oh, yeah. They're making another Meet the Parents, and Ariana Grande's in it. When did she become an actress? And I'm not saying
she
that
started
like,
out
meanly.
as one. She started out on the Disney
Are
Channel.
you shitting me? Oh.
No, she was one of the main ones getting creeped on by that freak in the documentary.
No, I stand corrected.
Yeah.
I just
All of those
it was
traumatized children from that Disney factory, that awful nightmare factory.
All those guys still have jobs.
So this is like the Meet the Parents. So Robert De Niro's got to be 90, and it's one of those where I'm like, I watched the first one, I didn't care for it, I didn't hate it, it did nothing to me, and then next thing I knew, there was like 6 of them, and they're like elaborate lore, and like it's Meet the Fockers now, and like Little Fockers, and like what's going on? What's happening?
Wait, how many of them? There's Meet
3.
the Parents 4. I guess.
Right?
Yes.
I definitely did not remember that there were 3 of these prior to now. The 4 on there did not register with me until this moment.
I think it's Meet the Parents,
Meet the Fockers, and Little Fockers.
Yeah, they really give that Fockers thing.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, it's the most milquetoast comedy series probably. This is like the comedy series you watch with your parents on holidays, like when you're home for the holidays, like on Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's when these came out too.
And they
this
need
is just
to exist.
a movie you watch. It's the comedy version of Now You See Me.
Yeah, and that genre, this to me is like, it's not hurting anybody.
That's fine.
It's not like, it's not like Guess Who. That movie I feel like hurt people. The remake of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
Oh yeah, that was
where
a
it's
hate
what
crime.
if they're racist against the white guy instead?
Yeah,
And
that was
like
that was
no,
a hate crime.
Yeah, no, we don't need that. You don't need to make that.
How many Now
But
You
this
See Me
one-
films are there? About the people
We're coming
don't
up
realize
on
it's about
4,
the
I think.
magicians that do the heists.
Or we're coming up on 3 or 4.
3, which is finally called Now You Don't.
Yeah, because there's a wonderful viral clip. It's Dan Harmon from the Rick and Morty guy going on a rant about how they did Now You See Me, and the sequel was called Now You See Me 2 instead of Now You Don't. And it's just how he almost gave him a stroke. That
Yeah. Oh, those movies are incredible.
Yeah, I love them. Such
Those
pieces
are
of
those
trash.
movies, yeah, where it's just like, and it made billions of dollars.
Of course it
and
did.
you watch them,
Of course
and
it
you're like,
did.
and it's one of those as a writer where you're like, I guess nothing has rules. I guess no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter ever.
It's a national treasure, Dave. It's comfort food.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah,
it seems
exactly.
like they didn't make any of the actors learn to do the magic because they just like a CGI card that like they just made it disappear rather than having
They're
them
wizards.
take.
Yeah, they're just
6 months,
wizards.
like-
They're fucking sorcerers.
None of it makes sense. It's one of those. It's like where it's.
Remember the
I love this genre.
Do you remember the incredible press tour where it was Jesse Eisenberg angrily doing card tricks?
Just not caring. Yeah.
That junk
Just like I
kid
learned about the
interviewers.
tricks, and then it turned out I didn't need to learn any of these, so I'm just gonna fucking do them here. I just love a good. It's one of those heist genres where they just change reality to make it clever.
Right, yeah, to make
If
it
that
work,
makes sense.
have
They
to,
just
like,
invent
bend
things.
the universe.
Yeah. It's one of those where, like, instead of having someone, like, where it's like, how are we going to get through this elaborate lock? And you're like, ooh, that's going to be interesting. Maybe they'll have person on the inside or go through, and then they just take a device and put it up to the lock and go, like, it's unlocked. And you're like, oh, they just made up a fake thing. Got it.
Yeah,
All right.
it's somebody
cool.
who is not clever trying to come up with something clever.
And I love it.
Yep.
So, yeah, Meet the Parents 4.
Can't wait.
Let's thank some more producers.
Sweet. Let's do it.
Yeah. Big thank you to Norm from Cheers Undying Love for Ridley Scott's Kingdom of Heaven. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to, oh shit, it's Candyman.
Thank you.
Thank you to Numino Ultra Microscopic Soul Gulf Volcano Coniosis Anti-Disestablishment Terranism Jones.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you to Psychic Bigfoot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Pumpkin Spiced Ed Nog.
Thank you.
Thank you to Rev MD.
Thank you.
Thank you to Ricky Cilantro.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Robert.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you to Rosemary's Baby from Eraserhead. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Ryan, the silly money goose.
Thank you.
Thank you to Screaming Horse Pyramid.
Oh, man, don't make him do that.
Thank you to Sorry Cop, world's most laughable centrist. Thank you.
All right, let me jump in here. Thank you to Steven.
Thank you.
Thank you to the conveniently placed self-destruct button on the top of every baby's head.
Thank you.
Slightly too convenient. Thank you to the Midnight Patron with patrons at midnight.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Oatmeal Savage.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Tubi Terror Bunny. Thinks you could use more Rutger Hauer in your media diet. Always.
Thank you.
Always.
Yeah.
Thank you to these 7 Bs.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tiger Drawers, Pratt Thompson. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tip Drizzle.
Thanks.
Thank you to Tux.
Tux.
Thank you to Vincent.
Thank you.
Thank you to Will Rhymes with Bill or Bill Rhymes with Will.
Thank you.
And last but not least, thank you to your mom.
Thank you.
Dave.
Thank you all. Thanks.
Dave.
What? What?
Close your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut it.
All right.
Because we got to do one more thing before we can leave.
All right.
And that's you got to tell me if you have a movie that deserves more hype.
I do, sort of, yes. I have a movie, so I normally bring a trailer, but this one has been on my radar for, I think, like 6 months. And finally I was like, fuck it. Like, I got to talk about whatever this is.
Yeah, I am captivated by this.
Obex, all caps, Obex, was a pretty big hit at Sundance, all positive reviews. There's no trailer. All I could find was this presentation through the Sundance YouTube of a child who claims to be the director talking about Obex.
Okay, but the child did not, because the child in the promo video says, "This is my movie." And I thought that was the gimmick. That it's like, oh, this kid and his friends made a movie and it's actually good. But the kid is not. That's a fake thing. That's a joke.
I don't know.
No, the
it could
director
be,
is old. The director is like an old guy. So because I was hoping that, this child had a movie the debut at Sundance, and just imagine the audience just booing the whole time. Like, boo! Who made this? Did a child make this?
Child with leukemia comes out. Yeah. Everybody feels real bad.
No, they just keep booing harder.
This film,
you gotta pay your dues. Movie at Sundance. Sorry, go on.
No, it's fine. It takes place in the 80s. It's about a shut-in who is excited for this new computer game called Obex, and like through a magazine or something, he like submits he and his dog, like a video of his dog, to the video game to become a character in it. And once he tries the game, his dog vanishes and reveals that it's been kidnapped by a digital demon, and he has to enter the game and get his dog back. This movie was pretty much done by 2 people. It apparently looks really good for that. One of them did Albert Burney. He was animation department for the movie We're All Going to the World's Fair, which is the director of I Saw the TV Glow, their first film, which I quite like. And it just so happens this movie is being compared to that movie. I don't know if you guys saw that movie yet, but that movie is it's very much about nostalgia and our nostalgia for kind of silly things. Like I Saw the TV Grow is around like a Buffy type show or an X-Files type show, where it's like, and what that means to us and how much more it means, and like the melancholy of nostalgia, and kind of also realizing it's kind of silly. And this movie seems to be about that too. One of the main characters, when he gets sucked into this digital world, is a guy with a TV for a head, and he realizes that the TV is literally his TV as a child. And so it just looks like really trippy and weird and kind of cool, and a similar exploration of those things. Again, the reviews are all very positive. It's also from the producing company that did like The Green Knight and Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh.
So yeah, it's a pretty, this director had done a movie called Strawberry Mansion, which I haven't seen, but I've heard about and people have liked. So I just think like this is going to sneak up on people and be something that people are going to really like. It's going to have that like retro 80s stuff, but not in the way that we often see it, right? Where it's like the Stranger Things.
Yeah.
It's going to be more about that nostalgia.
Yeah, so on IMDb, the cast, it's 3 people, and Albert Burney, the director, is one of the 3. So it is but it is, like, this person does a lot of animation type stuff that's there. Because Albert Burney, he's 43. He's directed like a dozen movies and videos and features and various things. He's got a career that goes back 15 years. So I don't know who the child is in that promo video, but this is very much an experimental thing because there are a lot of producers, but I assume that's people that put money toward it. Because it's like effects artists, VFX production managers, like that's who the credits are. It's all effects people, colorists, cinematographers, but the cast is just those few people. Written and directed by the same guy.
Yeah, Variety calls it handcrafted cinema. Pete O's is the other guy. He's the cinematographer, co-writer, co-editor.
The little bit that we can see from the stuff that you shared, like the screenshots and stuff, and the clips that we saw in the trailer. There's
not much to see yet.
It does remind me of like a minimalist point and click adventure game from that era. So I can totally see how this movie looking like that, like, and you'd be able to pull that off with like just one character on screen, basically.
Yeah. I'll definitely, once there's a trailer, I'm going to bring this back. Maybe not for this segment, but like I'm just been so curious about what this is going to look like when the trailer comes out.
Yeah, because you truly cannot I can't find a trailer anywhere for this.
Yeah, I've been trying. I
find other materials. I see that, like there's a Q&A from Sundance, that kind of thing. So that's weird. And maybe that's part of the rollout, as they're trying to hide like what it looks like. They want you to be a little surprised by. I don't know.
It should also be noted that multiple reviews have noted that the main character is a shut-in who's being lost in his nostalgia. So it's very much like, without being completely on the nose, about pandemic, like binge watching and stuff like that as well. The idea that like in isolation, depression, that we all kind of revert to this stuff, this safe stuff as well. Yeah, I don't know. It looks very fascinating. If you still haven't seen saw the TV Glow, that movie fucking rocks. So check that out too.
I've been meaning to check it out for a while.
Yeah. But that's it. Obex.
All right.
Obex. And that sounds like a fucking game that would exist.
Yeah, OBEX.
Yeah. Yeah. Check it out.
Played Inscription, right, Dave? Got a little bit of Inscription
I played the
vibes.
Shit out of Inscription, yeah.
Did you play Inscription, Jason?
No.
It's good. You would enjoy it.
You might enjoy it.
Yeah, it's one of those go in blind situations, but it is, in theory, like a card. What is that called?
It's like a card battler at first.
Yeah.
But you're like in this creepy cabin and you can't leave it. And you just have to keep sitting down and playing this game with this thing. And it just goes from there. Anyway.
Okay. The games that I like, the Dead Rising games where you've got hundreds of thousands of zombies and you kill them like you're just mowing down grass? Because there's like a mode you can unlock where you don't even have goals. You're just trying to kill as many of them as possible. I don't understand why that's not an entire genre of game where you're just putting 300,000 enemies on the screen and you're giving me a series of increasingly hilarious and implausible weapons. And my goal is to just clear out the things. Like, okay, Las Vegas has been inhabited by 250,000 zombies. The premise of this game is that you must kill all 250,000 of them by whatever means you can find around the city. And you'll just keep upgrading your weaponry. And then once you've killed the last one, the game just ends and deletes itself. You've done it. I play games for stress relief. I don't like an Elden Ring's FromSoft type game. I'm not trying to become good at a game. I am not looking for a challenge at all.
Right. I keep pitching my VR game idea, Beagle Swarm, and it's very similar idea. Did you play Dead Island?
No.
You'd probably like Dead Island.
Okay.
It's just wailing on zombies with improvised weapons.
Yeah,
that's it.
First person Dead Rising.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we did it.
We did it. That's so.
Jason, thank you so much. Here at the end, do you want to tell people what you got going on one more time?
The book is $3 unless you're listening to this after June 2015 or 2015, Jesus Christ, 2025. At which point I can't fathom what it costs. You can't even put a number on it, really. But $3 in ebook form. I'm starting to worry about this black box of doom. The next book that I'm turning in a few months is the 5th book in the John Dies at the End series. That will not be out until next year in the fall because publishing is slow. Otherwise, I am Jason K. Pargin on TikTok and also on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere else under that same username or some version of it because that is just my name.
Right on. I'll tell people we have a Patreon, patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We have exclusive podcasts on there like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, Spiel Boys, and our brand new one, Him Booze, which is about the show Supernatural.
It's true.
That's right. Supernatural, folks. It's delightful.
Are you doing an episode by episode podcast of Supernatural?
We sure are.
There are 900 episodes of that show.
Yeah.
Oh, we know.
It's never going to end. It's never going to end.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Plan.
And we watch movies every Friday night with our patrons. Or sometimes episodes of like Deep Space Nine.
Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever we feel like. So check that out.
We also have a store over at GamefullyUnemployed.com. You can find a link to our Teespring store where we have all kinds of cool original artwork by cool original artists like Michael Vincent Bramley, Starlene Hodge, Justin Brown, and others. So check that out. Rate and review our podcast wherever you listen to them. Check out our new show, Badical, Badical. I promise there's new episodes coming. And I think that's all of the everything.
Yeah, good everything.
Good everything. All right.
All right.
Say goodbye.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, listen, our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can find him on twitter.com as The Corlew or go to shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our channel artwork is produced by Michael Vincent Bramley. For more of his work, go to mvbramley.art. Our episode artwork is by Justin Brown, available on Twitter as Justin T. Brown or at artnessbyjustinbrown.com. And finally, additional artwork is by Starlene Hodge. You can find her work at starlenearts.com or on Twitter as StarleneX. Cool. Goodbye.